Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here, and I wanted to do this as a quick WrestleMania recap because I love professional wrestling. This is something I kind of been wanting to do, and I haven't been able to get it done mainly because I haven't been able to watch any of the wrestling because it's on cable network television. So I've only been able to keep up with the recaps, and I rather watch it so I can give you guys the information than anything else. So I watched both nights of the WrestleMania for both nights, and I will give you my score at the very end of this. But I wanted to break it down to you about each of these matches and what I thought of them, and the end result, and the possible storylines they're gonna come up with. And this is what WrestleMania is about. This is WrestleMania is the season finale to the year. This is where all the storylines have culminated up to this first year. But due to the coronavirus and all the situations been going on, we've had something very special. It's very unique. They haven't had audiences for the past month and a half, I believe. So a lot of these matches have been really them just really yelling at the screen at us. They're pretty much giving it to us as on television. And I have to completely applaud Vince for doing this. Vince could have just said screw it. He could have said screw it. He's not going to do WrestleMania this year. He doesn't want to risk his wrestlers. But I have a huge suspicion he wanted to do this, and he got the okay from his wrestlers. You also got to realize that WWE is a lot different of a corporation than it used to be. Vince could have actually said screw this. You're all doing it. We're going to just go on with the show. But they're now more of a huge corporation that had eyes on them for the last 12 years with stuff with the injured players, the whole situation with Chris Benoit, wellness policy violations, backstage politics. All this stuff's been going on in the WWE for decades, and Vince is not going to have it this time. I know I know a lot of fans rather for this to have been postponed, but do you also realize that there's millions and millions of dollars at risk here? And if you take this level of entertainment and take it away from the audience, do you truly think that anybody 2 months down the road is going to give a two craps about WrestleMania? No one's going to care. You could say, well, no one's going to care. No one's going to care. You got to hit it where the you got to hit it where you got to strike it where when it's hot. I'm sorry. You got to strike it when it's hot. And right now, all sports have been canceled. Wrestling is the only form of entertainment, professional sports entertainment we got right now. And now they've been canceled because the governor of the governor of Florida issued its 30-day. So we're not going to see anything for a while. And that sucks. That means we're completely screwed. So thank you people out there who are screaming about this coronavirus. You now just took away all sports. We have no form of sports entertainment anymore for a few months. Now, you can look at it as a good way. A lot of these wrestlers can now get some healing, and they can get their mindset. They can also get fix up their bodies for the nagging injuries. There's a lot of things they can do. However, we now lost a lot of entertainment. We have no form of live entertainment anymore, and it sucks. It does. It sucks. But I'm thinking on the positive side. I know this is sucks, but we got a positiveness out of this, and that means a lot of these wrestlers can actually go home, recoup, get their heads on straight. Try to get off the pain pills so they can actually go out there and wrestle and give us their hearts out again. And I applaud the ones that were capable of doing it for the last couple of nights, and they worked all last week. This was all done last week. And I applaud them for doing this. I applaud every single one of them for putting their hearts out in here, and they get my thank you. They do. They get my thank you, and I really hope that that a lot of them can get through their injuries and actually come back and give us more. So, like I said, we're gonna break it down for the first night. It was in my personal opinion, the first night and the second night are tied. They are tied as really as good. I'm not gonna say they're really good. There's some parts in there that I felt that were lackluster. Now, and let's get this straight right here. The weakest point of the whole thing was the host. They did not know what to do with Gronk. They honestly didn't know what to do with Gronk. I've been trying to plot they should have done with this guy. They should have had him just do his normal thing. He should have been that party frat boy, had fun and this and that. The whole thing with R-Truth should have happened, but R-Truth got away, and they're sitting there just like, damn, we'll get it next time, man. He goes, yeah, yeah, and then that's it, and you just keep on moving on with the whole situation. Then on the Monday night, you have Gronk out there talking to everybody, talking to the audience, talking to us as the audience, saying that it was a great time. He had fun out there, and he really wished that a lot of the things didn't pan out the way he wanted it. That's when you see R-Truth running around the ring, trying to avoid these dudes, and you see Gronk just looking at the ring like, what the hell is going on here? R-Truth gets in there, looks around, and then the moment he tries to run, that's when you see Gronk just do a massive shoulder tackle, just boom, and knock R-Truth completely out of a loop. And he's like, yeah, runs over, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3, and then he gets up and he takes the belt and goes, what now? And they're all going, no, we're good, dude. They're like, wow, he just knocked R-Truth for a loop. They're like, wow, we don't want nothing of that. And he goes, yeah, come and take this belt now. Why? Blah blah blah. He starts talking smack and he leaves. And that's how he wins the that's how he wins his first belt. You could have did it on Monday Night Raw. You have to waste our time with it on WrestleMania. To me, that was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. We had a quick 24/7 title hit, but you could have had that at any time but not with Gronk. Gronk should have won it on Monday Night Raw. That's how I felt that it should have been. But they were doing it as his WrestleMania moment. That was his WrestleMania moment that he won the 24. He won his first belt on WrestleMania. Okay, that's fine. So let's get into it. I want to break it down. The first night is okay. So we had a dark match, and what I mean by dark match is it was supposed to be on the pre-show, and we had Cicero versus Drew Gulak. Now I watched this match. It was the best technical match I've seen in my life. Drew Gulak is a badass. I have to admit, the dude is a badass. Cicero is really good. I never looked at these guys ever. I thought that Drew Gulak was okay, but I saw his match against Daniel Bryan, and I thought that him and Daniel Bryan did a really good match. But Drew Gulak is badass. I think this guy could be a great technical wrestler, and that's the way I think they should build him from this point forward. He should be their new technical wrestler. Like, this guy can wrestle. And it was a great match, very physical, very in your face, very it was counter after counter after counter. It was move and technical move after technical move. It was really good. Cicero defeated Drew Gulak, but it was a really good match, and I give it up for it. Now what I see in the future for this, I think that the whole Cicero I'll get into this when I get into the whole Bryant versus Sami Zayn, that whole Sami Zayn fight. I'll get into that in a little bit. Now, next was the Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. Now, a lot of people were talking about, like, Asuka has been on this huge losing streak lately, and I think that them losing a match is a great way to actually break them up. Do not have them both fight each other. Don't have it do not have it as they break up because there's animosity between the two of them. Have them go on their separate ways only because Asuka needs to figure everything out, and Kairi Sane should go to SmackDown, and Asuka needs to figure something out. She needs to get back her mojo, and that's the way the story is. And Kairi Sane should not be a third wheel in the process. Like she's the weak link. Like, she's the weak link of the whole thing. Don't do that to these two characters. I would say just have Asuka and Kairi Sane just go, you know what? We need to figure each other out. We need to figure this out more. So they basically break up the Kabuki Warriors, and they're all going separate. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross winning was a good thing for the two of them. Now they have the titles, and they can move forward with the women's tag team titles. And we're probably going to get something really good out of this. Maybe some other women are going to come up to the plate. Maybe we're going to get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross going over to NXT and doing an NXT type of set of matches over there. And I think they need to start bringing up the women's tag team a little bit more. That's my personal opinion. Elias versus King Corbin. Now, I was talking to Hawk about this, and he was watching this too with me, and we were having our little commentary. I like Corbin. I like Baron Corbin. Get rid of this King facade. It doesn't suit him. He has this whole thing like he's from the like he's from the Middle Ages, or he's like from Game of Thrones, and it doesn't fit him. It truly does not fit his character. He's way more domestic than he should be. This guy, he called himself the freaking lone wolf, for God's sakes, dude. He should not, and I repeat to you, he should not be domesticated. This dude should be ruthless. He should be cold-hearted. He should be the most sadistic puncher in right now in the division. He should be going for gold. I don't understand why they have him as a king, and he's acting like he's like King Jerry Lawler, and it's like we haven't seen that's stupid. He's not King Booker. And that was the worst gimmick they did for Booker T. It was the worst thing they ever did for him. In my personal opinion, this is the way I think they should do it. King of the Ring comes in, and somebody tells King Corbin goes, "Hey, I'm gonna win it again." He's gonna go in and try to win it again. But there's a stipulation here. Someone puts in a stipulation. Okay, you're gonna go for King of the Ring again. He goes, "Yep." He goes, "All right. If you lose, you have to literally abdicate the throne. You cannot call yourself King Corbin ever again if you lose." And that should come from, I would say, Vince McMahon. And that's it. That's it. That's where the line is. And he can't go to anybody about it. It's like, oh, geez. So that's how they should make it. And he goes back to being Baron Corbin again. He's Baron Corbin. He just beats people up, tears them apart. And I think that's a lot better of a role for him. Elias did a really good job in here. I don't know if he was legitimately hurt, but it doesn't matter. He did a really good job, and I think that this was a good wrestling moment for him. And they should push his character a little bit more forward. I think that he should still stick to his shtick that he's doing, and that'll be really cool. Now, this match right here, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, was hands down one of the most ruthless matches I've ever seen ever. This match was so in your face. This match was so brutal for women. I have to applaud Shayna Baszler, and I have to applaud Becky Lynch for doing this. These two women are ruthless, and I think I understand why Shayna lost. I think what's going to happen is, this is my personal opinion, I think that Shayna is gonna destroy Becky Lynch in another match. She's gonna destroy her. Like it's gonna be almost like a squash match, but Becky's gonna give it back to her. But she's gonna destroy her, and that's when Becky's gonna get a quote unquote injury, a kayfabe injury, and she's gonna be gone. And then that's when Ronda Rousey's gonna come in. And then we're gonna have Shayna versus Ronda. And if you guys understand Shayna and Ronda, they're huge best friends. They train together. They train MMA together. So they know each other very, very well. And we're probably going to get a very good submission, beat 'em up match between these two women. And it's going to be really good. And I think Becky should take some time off if that's what she wants. I think that she should. And if she wants to start having a family, this is the best time to do it. Do a kayfabe injury, start a family, and then get herself back into shape, and then prove that if a woman wants to have a child, she could get herself back into shape and come back and start decimating people. And I think that that's the best thing they need to do for Becky. She's dominated the Raw Women's Championship for a while now. Now Ronda needs to come back and start dominating again. That's my personal opinion. The whole Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan with Cicero and Shinsuke Nakamura on Sami Zayn's side with Drew Gulak on Daniel Bryan's side. It was good, but it was boring at the same time because Sami Zayn was doing the whole, no, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. He was doing all this. He doesn't want to get hurt. He doesn't want to fight. And it's boring. It's boring. Sami Zayn is his character, not the guy. I think the guy is a really good athlete. The problem with Sami Zayn's character is he's a lackluster champion. He's a lackluster champion. He deserves a championship, but his character does not deserve it. And I think that's the reason why he has never had it for so long. And that's because his character is such a he's a frat boy. And a lot of us who are real good real good fans for wrestling, we don't like frat boy guys. Unless they can really prove it. Like Dolph Ziggler, he's a frat boy type, but the dude can throw bones. He can really get into your head. Now, that's fine. But Sami Zayn is useless. He's useless, and it's terrible. This guy is a damn good wrestler, but it's like, are you kidding me? Him and Daniel Bryan would have been a phenomenal match. It could have been Sami Zayn with his high flying tactics, and Daniel Bryan with his ground and pound strong style. It'd be great. It'd be a great type of match. No, we had him running around trying to avoid getting hit. I don't want to see this. This is boring. I'm sorry. It's useless and it's boring. And here's the time. It wasted 9 minutes and 20 seconds of our time. We could have had a lot more with Becky and Shayna Baszler. Another 30 minutes, 9 minutes. I mean, we could have had a 9-minute mark with that. We could have had more with Braun Strowman and Goldberg. It was a 2-minute match. It was stupid. You should have had this should have been a squash match between Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn. But they didn't do it. They wasted our time with this, and it was useless. To me, I didn't like it. It was a lackluster match. This match, John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston in a triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. This was the match of the night. I'm sorry, it was. This is the match of the night. These three guys went out there and gave it their all. If you guys say to me, "Oh, it was all right," I go, "Dude, you guys, I don't know what the heck you were looking at," because the John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston battle was phenomenal. Phenomenal. These guys put it out there. John Morrison doing the high fly, walking along the tightrope and grabbing Kofi Kingston, doing the Spanish fly off the top. Come on, bro, that thing was dope. Jimmy Uso doing the splash. Kofi Kingston trying to do the SOS. And he's trying to do Trouble in Paradise. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, man. It was a great match. That was the best match of the night. That was the best match. That was the match of the night. Those three guys really didn't care. They went out there and they gave it. And I applaud all three of them for that. That was great. That was great. The Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. What I think is going to happen further down the road. Let's go with Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan they're going to have Sami Zayn fight someone that's going to just destroy him. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be just fighting these people, and he's going to constantly keep running until Cicero and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to get tired of protecting his ass, and he's going to lose. He's going to lose his belt. I think he's going to have 2 more runs, and then he's going to lose the belt. That's what's going to happen. He's going to mess with the wrong person. The John Morrison, Uso, Kofi Kingston, I think that what's going to happen is when The Miz gets back, we're going to have a much bigger understanding about what they're going to be doing with the tag team divisions. I think that they're not going to start a rock of the boat between the two of them, but I think we're going to get a little bit more tag team matches, and they're not going to do anything because there was no true storyline with all this. It was just a tag team match. I mean, it was supposed to be a tag team title match. There was no true storyline behind all this. So there's nothing forward to go forward from this. But the Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, I think this is not over. This is definitely not over. I think that Seth Rollins is going to rekindle it, and they're going to take it on to Kevin Owens. I think they should. I think they need to push this. They need to push it to a whole new level now and get and destroy Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, not Seth Rollins, but Kevin Owens. Not because I don't like Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is a good wrestler. The only problem is that Seth Rollins is a much better wrestler. He's a way better wrestler, better athletic, way better athlete. He's way more. He's not as physical as Kevin Owens, but he could do almost everything he needs to do at his weight class. Kevin Owens is a little bit heavier by, I'll probably say maybe 30 pounds, and he just can't beat the strength because Kevin Owens is going to be too strong for him. But I think that his athleticism, what Seth Rollins could do in the ring, he should be able to decimate him. And this whole thing of him being the Monday Night Messiah is going to come back and bite Seth Rollins on the butt a little bit. That's what I think. Braun Strowman versus Goldberg. Everybody says it, and I even agree. It was a squash match. That's what it was. It was a squash match. It was basically, one guy said it best. It was like you were on Here Comes the Pain. You had all 5 finishers able, and you were just unloading finishers all day until the guy drops. And that's what it was. It was Goldberg hit 4 spears and tried to do a jackhammer. Braun Strowman said, nope, threw him over, and then he started doing power slams until he did 4 power slams, and then he basically beat Goldberg. Hawk said it best. They did this as a squash match mainly because of that stupid Sami Zayn one and the Kevin Owens one. The Kevin Owens one was good, but it was too long. They should have called a no qualification match at the very beginning. Like at the very beginning. So it made more sense that way. To me, it would have made more sense. But 17 minutes on 2 guys, that's way too much. It was stupid. But the storyline should keep going. But Braun Strowman versus Goldberg, this should have been at least about a 9-minute match. This should have been a good clean 9 minutes. Easy. The Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match should have been 10 minutes. The Strowman and Goldberg match should have been almost literally a little over 9. It should have been Goldberg just taking it to Braun, but Braun just shows, nope, you're not going to beat me. And they just take it to a whole new level with the power that both of these guys can do. And he wins. He squeaks by and wins, but he wins. And Braun Strowman deserves to have the Universal Championship. But I think they're plotted up to wait till Roman Reigns gets back, and he's going to take the title away from Braun. That's what I think. That Braun is just keeping it ready for the big dog to get back. Then we're going to have this huge thing. It's going to be a triple threat. Goldberg, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. That's how I see they're going to do this. It makes more sense that way. One of my favorite matches. This is my next favorite match of the night. My favorite match of the night was literally John Morris, the triple threat. The Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler match was just, it was insane. It was physical. It was a beautiful match. The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match was exactly what it was meant to be. This match was not supposed to be AJ Styles jumping off of tombstones and or off of the hearse to do his moves to go against the Undertaker. No, it was basically these 2 guys just beating the crap out of each other. He just beat the living daylights out of them, and you could see that Undertaker's having a little bit of time walking in some ways, but you also see him that he's holding back against AJ because I know if he really hits him, he would mess up Undertaker would mess up his hand. Undertaker's hand is messed up. I have a feeling that he's doing cornerstone shots in his hand so he can move his hand around. I think there's a lot of messed up tissue in the hand. I think there's a lot of buildup and callus buildup and cartilage buildup that he can't really flex his fingers the way he wants to anymore. And I think that they were just keeping it very slow, methodical, and making it where Undertaker was going to slowly beat the crap out of him. But I like the filming of it. It did. I mean, it felt like a bad B movie, horror movie, and they did a really good job with it. They did. It was fun. It was exciting. Undertaker just basically destroyed him. Now, there was a scene where he finally threw him into the dirt, and he was going to come over and actually bury him, and he was starting up. He's like, ha ha ha, and then all of a sudden the lights come on, and Undertaker showed up right behind him, and it was a cut. Now, that was cool, but what I liked was that the moment he took him, he hit him, he threw him off of the tractor. You see him scrambling to his hand. He looks into the ground, and he sees the Undertaker's body still in there. He still sees the Undertaker's body in there, but he's wearing the dead man gear. He's like, what the hell? And he looks up and there's the Undertaker just standing over him in the dead man gear. He's like, huh, huh, and he comes back and it shows him in his regular in what he's wearing, and he goes, come here, boy, we need to talk. And he's like, oh no, what? No. And he's sitting there screaming out, and he's looking back. He still sees the dead man in the freaking grave. He goes, what? You seen a dead man? He's like, it's funny as hell. He's like, and he's just like, please don't bury me. Please don't bury me alive. I'm not gonna bury you alive. Oh man, it would have been a great way of showing that, dude, what the hell is going on? This is cool. It is out of its world. What the heck was in that damn casket? What was in that freaking ground? What was in the ground? And then when Undertaker beats him, he buries him and you see his hand sticking out. It was really good. And he drives and he saw him put his hand up in the air, and the lightning shows his the Undertaker symbol and the ministry symbol. It was the ministry symbol. And the fire comes up, and you see him off on his motorcycle, and he has Metallica playing. I really wish it wasn't Metallica. I honestly wish it wasn't Metallica. That's just me. I don't like Metallica very much. They're personal reasons, and a business reason too. But part one was pretty damn good. The matches were brutal. The matches were beautifully done. Some of the stuff was storyline oriented. They did a really good job with it. Other stuff they really panned out. Others they really dropped the ball. My personal opinion, Elias versus King Corbin was good, but shouldn't have been better. The Braun Strowman and Goldberg. I know that Braun Strowman was put in there last minute, and they just had to do something real quick. But you should have cut the Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins match. That match was too long. It was too long. 17 minutes for two guys to beat the crap out of each other in a regular match, and then also turn into a no disqualification match. No, sorry. I mean, you should have had it where Seth Rollins tries to beat the crap out of him, but Kevin Owens does a power bomb, and then he does his freaking stunner, and then that's it, done. He walks away, gets the win, and that's it. And then you could have spent the rest of that time with Goldberg and Braun Strowman, where they could just win at each other for a little while. Turn to about a 5, maybe I would say a good 7 to 9 minute match would have been perfectly fine between these two big guys, but it wasn't that good with those two, mainly because it was short termed. It was not that good. But Undertaker versus AJ Styles was really good. You felt the emotion, you felt the understanding of that AJ was not fighting the Undertaker. He was fighting Big Evil. Now, this was Big Evil. This was not the American Badass. People are like, oh, it's the American Badass. No, it's not the American Badass. This is the Big Evil Undertaker. This was the heel Undertaker that came in and said, no one respects me. Everyone's like, are you kidding me? And he started chokeslamming people, started putting them in the Devil's Triangle. He put people in that Dragon Sleeper. That was one of his big moves. People were tapping on that Dragon Sleeper and other things. Like, he was doing a lot of submission holds. He wasn't doing a lot of things. He was actually just keeping it ground and pound. And that's what I liked about the Big Evil. I liked the Big Evil more than I liked the American Badass, but that was just me. But it was a really good really good one. Part 1 out of a 10 was a 7.5. It was a 7.5. There's some things in there that made me go, oh, other things that made me go, yeah, I was into the matches. That's what I have to say about the part 1. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so part 2. Now, I missed a match. I don't know what happened with the Liv Morgan-Natalya match, but I will do a quick video explaining that and what happened with that, because I came in late because I was playing a video game. I was playing some Elder Scrolls. Sorry, I should have been watching this and getting into this match. But Liv Morgan defeating Natalya, holy crap! I want to see that match. I really want to do it because I'm actually starting to like how Liv Morgan is. I want to see how they're going to do her character. I think that the way they built her character up, that she's almost like a Harley Quinn type of character when she was with the Riot Squad. I was like, okay. I mean, okay. But the way I want to see how they're going to do her this time. I want to see how they're going to do it. And I think that, in my personal opinion, a lot of people got to realize Natalya has been training a lot of these women. And Liv Morgan, I think Liv Morgan is one of them. She's training Liv Morgan. So I think that Natalya is the perfect person to literally get people over, to get a lot of these women over, because she knows how to wrestle. Her and Beth Phoenix and I think a couple of the women, they know how to truly wrestle. And Charlotte, of course, Charlotte, Ashley knows how to Ashley, aka Charlotte, she knows how to wrestle too. So there's a lot of women that know how to wrestle, and they're actually teaching these other women how to do these matches so they can actually be better in the ring and evolve the game for the women. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm glad that Steph is doing this. I think that Steph is a part of it. I think Steph is really making it apparent that she wants the women's division to be a lot better than they're supposed to be, because it under her father it was not that good. But let me see. Okay, out of these 9 matches, 3 of them were actually really good. That, to me, that's not good. I have to see the Liv Morgan one before I make a full judgment. So, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. This match was awesome. I don't care if anybody says, "Oh man, Charlotte." Listen, it doesn't matter, man. Charlotte is going to beat her father's record. She's going to win 16 titles. She's going to win it. She's going to become a 16-time world heavyweight champion. She's going to do it. There's no ifs and buts about it. That is the way they're going to cement her legacy. She's going to do this same exact as her father. I have no problem with that. But you also got to look at the fact is that, yeah, Charlotte's all over the place, but you also got to realize that Charlotte's only there because they're trying to get these women from NXT to get to that level where they can be on Raw or SmackDown. Shayna Baszler came from freaking NXT. Becky Lynch came from NXT. Bayley came from NXT. Sasha Banks came from NXT. Natalya's always been on Raw or SmackDown. She's always main evented. A lot of these women that you see, like Lacey Evans, Naomi, and Tamina, they were all on NXT. They all came from NXT. So why in the heck are you going to get angry for Charlotte Flair for going to NXT? She's there to actually get these women to get to a whole new level. They have to get to a whole new level because some of these women are going to be leaving soon. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are. You're going to get Asuka. Asuka right now will probably be the only woman that's going to have a lot more shine than you think that she will. She should get a lot more shine. They need to showcase Asuka's skills. Asuka needs to completely change her. Not completely change, but she needs to evolve her skill set a little bit more. She needs to get back to her ruthless state. She needs to be the Empress of the Sun. She needs to get back to that ruthless aggression that she used to have and take women apart. She is truly no joke. I really like Asuka. I really do. And I haven't seen Kairi Sane very much, but I want to see a little bit more of these Asian wrestlers, these female Asian wrestlers, because they're beautiful women, but it's more on the fact that Asuka and Kairi Sane are different. They have that shoot strong style that we're not used to for women. A lot of the women don't do that. Charlotte Flair is a traditional athletic wrestler. Natalya is a ground and pound technical wrestler. Becky Lynch is a brawler. Shayna Baszler is a brawler. Ronda Rousey is a technical brawler. She can basically brawl, but she can actually technically beat the living daylights out of your body and take a limb apart. So there's some women out there that can do this stuff, but they don't do it. Bayley is a damn good wrestler herself. So is Sasha Banks. They're all good wrestlers. They just NXT needs to bring those women up to the snuff now. And the best person to do it is Charlotte Flair. Having her there is perfect. I think, in my personal opinion, the whole match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte was great. Rhea showed that she can be at Charlotte Flair's level. She just what happened was, I think she really tweaked her ankle. I think she tweaked her ankle and her knee gave out. And she was like, and her knee just jacked up. I think that when she chop blocked her ankle or chop blocked her knee, it really twisted her ankle and she couldn't go with the rest of the match. So Charlotte was like, okay, I got to end this match. So they're gonna keep going, but when that foot was giving her too much problem, she put her in the figure eight, and she had to tap. She's like, no, here's the belt. My ankle's messed up. I think she messed up her ankle. I don't think that she was gonna mean to lose that title, but if it was, that's fine for it to be Charlotte, because now those women are gonna have to up their game. They all have to up their game, because now you got a true main eventer a true main event superstar on NXT to really get you guys going. Becky Lynch is not going to go back to NXT. There's no way. She's not going to at this present point in stage. Shayna Baszler just got from NXT. She ain't coming back. Tamina is not going to go back to NXT. She should stay here. Nina Jax is going to stay in main event status. She's going to stay at superstar status. She's going to stay where she's at. Lacey Evans and Naomi isn't going anywhere. Bayley and Sasha Banks ain't going anywhere. So Rhea Ripley has to stay in NXT, I would say, for another few months, and then get her over to get her over to Raw. She would have a great match against Shayna Baszler because they're both just they will beat the living daylights out of each other, and that's cool. But I think Charlotte is perfect down at NXT right now for the main reason. She's there to get those women ready, to get more women ready. And that's fine, and it's perfectly fine. Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. This match was good, but terrible at the same reason. And it was a great match for Bobby, but a terrible match overall. Aleister Black defeating Bobby Lashley with the black mask when he was trying to do his spear was perfect. Storyline wise, perfect. Because you know why? Lana was the one that told him to do it. And his dumbass decided to do it. When he had this dude in the Dominator. He was going to dominate him. He's going to do the Dominator. And end him. And him and none. Walked out with that beautiful lady in his hand and be like, yep, I won. Ding. Nope. She said, no. Spear him. And he's like, okay, baby. And I'm like, what the hell? You had this dude over your shoulder. He got beat because of Tank. And he did. And what should have happened at the end of the match? Well, she was sitting there looking at him like with that B face. He should look at her with that angry, like he is fuming. And her face goes, uh-oh. Like he's looking at her like, you costed me a WrestleMania shot. You costed me a WrestleMania match. I had him. I had him in the Dominator, and I could have beaten him and 1, 2, 3'd and walked out of here, been long gone. No, I listened to you and got a black mask and got a kick to the face and lost. Nope, your fault. That's beautiful, beautifully done storyline. Not a good match. I'm sorry, because Aleister Black was completely over. He got completely decimated in that match. Bobby Lashley was too strong for him. He was way too strong for him. But I love Aleister Black. I like that he's in your face and he has all these great maneuvers. It's really great, but he just got no. Bobby Lashley is way too strong for him. This shows that right now WWE does not know what to do with Bobby Lashley. They don't know what to do with him. They need to get him out of this nonsense with Lana and get him back into get his head on straight and going for title shots. He needs to be going against Drew McIntyre right now. He needs to be taking on people like Goldberg and Braun Strowman. Why is he wasting time with people like Aleister Black? Nothing against Aleister Black. There really isn't. I have nothing against this dude. But Bobby Lashley is too strong for him. There's no true, and he's fast. He's fast. It is proven Bobby Lashley is faster than Brock Lesnar. He's faster than Brock. He is. Brock's just a way better wrestler. And he's a way better pound and grounder. But when it comes to overall power and brute strength, no, Bobby Lashley beats him. Sorry. It's just true. I'm sorry. Bobby Lashley is still jacked than he was when he first got there. Brock Lesnar gained weight. He gained gut weight. And he had to get back his strength, but he still had his gut weight. He still had his gut, and it doesn't look that good on him. Nothing against the dude. I love the dude. I love Brock Lesnar. He's great. He's a great addition to this whole roster. He gets these guys. If you want to be the top guy, beat Brock Lesnar. Simple as that. But this match between Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley was not that good. But the storyline wise, perfect for Bobby Lashley and Lana. It's awakening Bobby slowly up to the fact that this woman is costing him his matches. She's useless. She is doing nothing. And she's giving him B faces all the time. She's giving him B faces. Gotta go. Okay, so we got the storyline with Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and with Sonya Deville and the Mandy Rose situation. Now, I really haven't been following this whole storyline. I think it's kind of the whole Beauty and the Beast storyline is stupid. And Mandy Rose is pretty attractive woman, but not worth it in my personal opinion. I knew it was gonna happen anyway. I knew that Dolph was gonna lose because of Mandy, and she was gonna walk off with Otis. But but I don't see this going any further. I really don't, because Mandy is she's one of those type of women, and what I mean is she's one of those type of women that likes to be wined and dined, and she wants to have a handsome man on her arm and this and that. She doesn't like to be embarrassed. So Otis is a southerner. He's a southern redneck, and he comes from, and the way his character is built is he's like low middle class. He's that type of like trailer trash type, but his people, the people the way he emanates himself, he's like that. He's like heavy machinery. He's in your face, and that's going to cause a lot of friction. And it's again, it's one of those things of, it's always that Beauty and the Beast storyline, and it gets boring. That's why I think the whole Otis and Mandy Rose is only going to last maybe a few months, and then they're going to kind of be friends. And then that's it. And I think they shouldn't have it where she breaks his heart or he breaks her heart. I think it's more in the fact of they're better as friends, and they should just, that's it, and they move on. And he's okay with that. He had a great time with her and everything, and he can move forward. But having it where she breaks his heart or he breaks her heart over something stupid is dumb. We don't need to see that anymore. Dolph, in my personal opinion, needs to get the heck out of SmackDown. He needs to go to Raw, get IC Gold, and become the IC champion and stay as IC champion. He is better as a champion, and he's egotistical. He is like the Ravishing Rude mixed with a Shawn Michaels, mixed with a Chris Jericho, and a Mr. Perfect. The dude is great. He's a great athlete. He has great maneuvers. He's damn good he's good on a mic. He can actually elicit the people to hate him, and it's really great. And he's a very good athlete, and it sucks that they have him wasting his time with this whole Otis Mandy Rose storyline. It's a waste of his time, and it's a waste of Otis's time and Dolph and all these people a part of it. It's a waste of their time. They should never have done this. In my personal opinion, they should have Dolph going after gold. Simple as that. What the heck is he doing? That's my personal opinion. And I think that that's what they should do with him from this point forward. He should, he and Sonya are together for a little bit, but then he kind of just says, you know what, I'm done with you. And he basically, he does a zigzag on her, and he's out. He says, I'm done. He zigzags her and gets the heck out of there. He's done. And he goes to Raw. That's what I think this should happen. Dolph should go to Raw. And he says, I'm going for gold. And you turn him into a ruthless dude. He's single by himself. He's just ruthless. He's tired of this. He's tired. He needs gold. He needs gold. He needs something in himself. And he's been missing it for too long. He's been lording over with this Mandy Rose chick. He can go get any chick he ever wants. Mandy Rose is a hag for all he cares about right now. I'm good. I'm not going after blow up dolls. I'm going after real women. I'm going after gold. And that's how he should be. He should be that guy again. And it's really cool when he's that guy. That's what I think they should do with him. Now, Edge versus Randy Orton. Oh my God, this match, dude. This is the match of the night. I'm sorry. This was the match of the night. This was the match. How in the hell? Number 5 and number 6. Part 1 was number 6, match of the night. Number 5 was the match of the night. Holy God. That match was awesome. Edge versus Randy Orton. They're beating each other up all throughout the whole Performance Center. And then you have, the whole, at that split second, he gets up at 9, and it's really good. And it ends with him telling the ref, you don't count. You count, I'll hit you with this chair. Guys go, okay. And then he does a concerto right on top of Randy's head. After he and you start to see the emotion that he did. He considered Randy literally like a brother, almost as close as him as it is with him and Christian. Because Christian and him are not literal brothers, but they've been friends since freaking I think it was like since junior high school. I think they've been friends for that long. I'm sorry, guys. Getting some water. But this match was phenomenal. It was great. Randy gave it. Edge gave it. And then at the very end, you see him crying over him, telling him that and just saying, is he okay? And just he just knocked out. It was a great match, man. It was very emotional. It was great. And because Randy and Edge are veterans, they know how to make this match more personal. They knew how to make it more personal. It was beautifully done. Beautifully done. I applaud Edge for coming back. Adam, thank you for coming back. Randy, you are my bro, dude. Randy Orton he's a beast. The dude was awesome in this match, man. He beat the living daylights out of Edge, man. It was great. The Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory. I skipped that match. It was boring. I don't like these two. I don't like the Street Profits. I really don't. I don't like the Street Profits. I don't like Angel Garza and Austin Theory. I moved on. I turned on mute and watched something else. I'm sorry. I know Street Profits won. Because of a frog splash by Montez Ford, I think it was. No, yeah, by Montez Ford. But I don't care. It was 6 minutes anyway, so it was like, who cares? All right. Bayley versus Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. Okay, this was one of the best 5-way elimination matches I've seen in a while for the women, because Sasha and Bayley came in there with a plan and they stuck to it. But they didn't do the one thing we all thought, that Sasha was going to pin Bayley and get her out of the ring. Just get her out of the way, like, immediately. So everybody was like, what? She pinned her like that and got rid of her. Everybody was like, what? And you see Bayley like, and she's like, sorry, I want the belt. Nope. They kept with the storyline that Sasha wants the belt, but she doesn't want to break her friendship with Bayley. And it's starting to really stretch their friendship, because Tamina was awesome in that match. She tossed all the women around, beat the living daylight. Basically, this match was the same as the WrestleMania match we had when it was, I think it was WrestleMania 30. Where we had Nina Jax just beating the crap out of every single woman there. Just beating the living daylights out of them. Toss them around. Destroying them left, right. And then they all just said, you know what, we're done. And then they started tagging up on her, beating the crap out of her until they all jumped on top and pinned her. And that's exactly what happened with Tamina. Exactly what happened. It was stupid. It should never happen. It should have been Tamina. Tamina should have been the one that here's how I would have done it. I would have had Lacey Evans do the women's rights, do that huge right cross to the freaking head and knocked her clean. And then you had Naomi do whatever move she does, and Bayley just knocks her knees right out of her, and you see Sasha run over, latch on, and do the bankrupt. And that's it. And just made her tap like, and she starts tapping. Done. Tamina taps to Sasha Banks. Like, what? Like, wow. Then you would have had, but what they did was actually interesting. So they had Bayley try to take on Naomi. They finally got rid of Naomi, and then it was Lacey Evans and Naomi. It was Sasha, Bayley versus Lacey Evans. Evans came back, and with one solid knee to the head, Bayley was like, "Oh my God, no!" And to Sasha. And Sasha got back in the ring and said, hey, what the hell was that about? She's like, no, listen. That's not what it was about. And she's trying to tell her, like, no. Let's get back to this and we'll figure it out later. And then Lacey Evans comes back and tries to swing at her. And Bayley pushes Sasha out of the way. And she tries to take a women's right twist and pushes her out of the way. Blocks the move, and then Lacey Evans comes back around and clocks Sasha Banks in the head, does the women's rights to Sasha Banks, and pins her 1, 2, 3. And then Bayley starts putting on a clinic and beats her with her move. And then that's when Sasha gets in the ring and gives her the belt, and you can see the way they're doing this storyline. The way they're doing this storyline is Bayley needs Sasha. Bayley needs Sasha. Sasha doesn't need Bayley. But Bayley needs Sasha. You could tell it because she was scared to death that Sasha was gonna was gonna betray her. She was like, no, like, and it looks like it. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that Bayley's gonna do something, and Bayley's gonna be the one that breaks this friendship up. And I think it's going to be heartbreaking on Sasha because she's sick and tired of this whole situation going on with her and Bayley. And it's going to come down to Bayley versus Sasha. And I think that should happen at if it ever gets to it, it should happen at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Championship. Bayley should have it for a little bit longer until she loses to Sasha, and Bayley needs to go away for a little bit. And I mean a little bit, not for very long, but for a little bit. But that's the way I think they should do it. And that's me personally. And Lacey Evans should be in the middle of all this. And Naomi and Tamina should be kind of like, we should feud, like feud for a little bit. But here's the match that I felt was too long. And it was the most boring match out of the whole thing. That, I mean, even for part one, this match was boring. I watched the whole 13 minutes of this. I skipped number 6 minutes and 20 seconds to sit through a 13-minute what the hell between The Fiend Bray Wyatt and John Cena. It made no sense. No sense. The Edge and Randy was 36 minutes of beautiful destruction. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley was 20 minutes of pure, absolute agony and destruction. You made me sit through. No, you had a 19-minute match with Bayley, Lacey, Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina, which was a great match. But the Fiend Bray Wyatt, something we've all been waiting for, this whole storyline between Bray Wyatt and John Cena that's been going back since. I mean, let me see. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to look this up. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so they've been feuding since 2012, basically. Since about 2012. Now, you could say it goes all the way back to when he first arrived on Nexus, when he was part of Nexus. But let's say because when he was part of the Wyatt family. And they've been feuding ever since 2012. This storyline should have been summed up because John Cena is gone. He's not gonna come. He's not gonna truly come back. And it's understandable. It's perfectly fine. Now, I'm sorry about that. Now, sorry I took so long, but I wanted to get that information. But so they've been feuding since 2012, since he was still the whole Wyatt family stuff, and it's 2020. So about 8 years, let's say 7 years, these guys have been freaking feuding each other, and John is leaving. So this is gonna be probably one of the last times these two are gonna go at it, and this whole match is culminated to this because this is something that the Fiend, as Bray Wyatt comes out, and he calls him out and says, let's do WrestleMania, and he tips his hat to him, and you're like, okay, we're going to have this big slobber knocker match. Thank you, JR. But no, we have him jump into his TV screen, and then out of nowhere, he goes into this match, and then it's all these weird scenes and cuts and this, and all of a sudden we're seeing the old classic Saturday Night's main event, and then we see the old NWO introduction. We see him coming out as Master of Thugonomics. We see him coming out in his original when he came out and said ruthless aggression, and he punched Kurt Angle. We're just seeing this, and there's no storyline here. There is nothing going on here. Nothing. And we're supposed to take this seriously. Like, what's the purpose of this match? The only time, and this is the only time I really felt the truth about this match was when he sat there and he was in his old gear, when he was wearing the fedora and the Hawaiian shirt and everything. When he was back as Bray Wyatt, the dude from the Swamp family. He literally freaking told John Cena that this is what it's culminated to. You took my WrestleMania moment. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. When he was supposed to hit him with the chair, he told him, finish it, hit me. And he didn't do it. He says that was the time when you should have ended this, but you didn't do it. And then when he tried to do the Sister Abigail and everything, and he turned it into the F5, the attitude adjustment. I'm sorry, so the FU, which is turned into the attitude adjustment, and he beat him 1, 2, 3. He felt that was when he was at his lowest point with him, and it was so emotional. I was like, damn, Bray Wyatt is doing a great job here. And you literally look at John Cena's face like, holy crap. And then he looked at him and he said that he pretty much telling him that you come out here every single night and you use the other people's weaknesses as a joke and you call yourself the hero. You're not a hero, you're a bully. And I'm like, damn, finally. And you see John Cena just looking at him like, well, damn. It was great. It was great. That was the exchange we wanted. And then them going at it. And then later they go through this another set of sequences until he sees him put him into the into his mandible claw or whatever the hell he wants to call it, but the mandible claw, and then he puts him in the Sister Abigail, hits it, and then he puts that thing back on top of him, and for some reason he's all raw, and all of a sudden out of nowhere John Cena pops out of view. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? What the hell just happened? What was this? And you see Bray Wyatt sitting there going 1, 2, 3. He's sitting there smiling at the screen. I'm sitting there going, what the hell just happened in this match? This wasn't a match. It felt like I truly felt like I was taking a trip with the Joker through his carnival. That's how I felt. I was like, dude, what the hell's going on here? It was so strange, and there was nothing in it. I felt nothing for this match. Only time I felt something was when Bray finally told him and us why he came after John Cena, why he's doing this, why he went from when he was Bray Wyatt to him becoming the Fiend, why he trusts the Fiend, why he's doing all of this. It's because of John Cena taking away his WrestleMania moment. Him not doing what he was supposed to do. Him not letting the evil in. Him not letting his aggression be the aggression. He even used his own ruthless aggression against him. He told him that you came out here. You were the one that started the ruthless aggression. And you have not done it. You always held back it. Why? Why is this? And you're like, yes. This is what we're talking about. These are the storylines I love about wrestling. And they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. And I'm mad over this. This was the match I wanted to see if John Cena was going to lose. He should have lost. I have no problem with him losing. The problem I had was, what the hell was I watching? John Cena should have lost anyway. Bray Wyatt should have gotten his revenge and finally moved on from freaking John Cena. Like, I'm done with you now. You're not coming back. He's like, I'm gonna do one last year in wrestling, and then he's gonna retire. Done. I'm good. I'm good. Oh my god, that match was so out there, man. It was weird. Now we have the Drew McIntyre Brock Lesnar match. This match we got screwed on this match. This was a great match. You had Drew's ruthless strength versus the unrelenting power of Brock Lesnar. Dude, this was going to be a great match. These two are gonna beat each other halfway. Nope. Because we sat there and watched the funny Joker hour with Bray Wyatt and John Cena, and it was 13 minutes when we could have just had them do, I don't know, 8 minutes and them beating the living daylights out of each other, and him still playing those weird mind games. Been perfectly fine. Nope. Nope. We got a 4.5 minute match between Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar for a freaking WWE Championship. Terrible. And Drew McIntyre beat him with the Claymore. 3 Claymores. Just bow right in his head. And then you literally saw freaking Paul Heyman sitting there looking at him like, how the hell did you lose? But I'm sorry. I mean, the main event was terrible. It was lackluster. And for Drew McIntyre, it was the best highlight of his life, but it was a lackluster match. You should have had Brock just taking him apart. An arm, and then a leg, and then Drew McIntyre just coming through and just doing a Claymore and hitting him, and then slowly put on a clinic, showcasing that he is at that game. But nope. It wasn't that good. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry. Would I rate this one? I rate this one again 7.5. 7.5. No, actually 8. I rate it an 8. I rate this as an 8. And the main reason why is because of Edge and Randy Orton. Edge and Randy Orton, the Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and the Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley was great. Storyline wise, number 3 was good. Wrestling wise, Aleister Black was out of his element. He's fighting against a dude that can literally wrestle him to death. And he can't, he could try to hit him and it wouldn't do jack squat to freaking Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is made to just go right through people like that. Now people were wondering like, why isn't Bobby going after Brock Lesnar? Because you know why? Because Brock Lesnar almost destroyed Bobby Lashley. Bobby could not get a good run off of Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar just overpowered him. And they could never go against a match again. They couldn't. They can't because Bobby Lashley will get completely eaten by Brock Lesnar. They did it. They had a match a long time ago. It's Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar, with explosive strength, overpowered Bobby Lashley. And Bobby could not get a good anything off of him. So they're not going to risk that again. They're not going to put Bobby Lashley against Brock Lesnar. Even though that's a dream match. These two are collegiate level wrestlers. Sorry, they are. They're collegiate level wrestlers. But this one was an 8. I did like it. I think it was really good. But it was all because of that Edge and Randy Orton. It was the match of the night. I would say it is the best match out of the whole 18 matches they had. The best. It was really good. Now, again, I'm going to come back with the Liv Morgan Natalya storyline, and I will give you that in a separate video, but I want to get this one out there so you guys can see that hey, listen, that I'm not always doing stuff about I'm not always doing everything about the Snyder Cut or comic books and such. I do love wrestling. Now, on a whole, what do I think of the whole thing? I give it a 7.5, 7.75, so 7.75, maybe an 8. I have to see the Liv Morgan versus Natalya match. I have to see it to give it a good, clear score. But this was probably one of the better ones that I've seen. The best one was the Triple H versus Undertaker Part 2 in the Hell in a Cell. That was like the best. Oh my God, that was one of the best WrestleManias. And then on top of that, the other one where it was I think it was WrestleMania 18 or 19. It was the one where it was the Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels. It was the WrestleMania for the 2000. That's what it was. It was the WrestleMania for the 2000s. That was like the best WrestleMania I've seen. Just pure. It was awesome. The Boneyard match was great. I'm saying the women. I'm putting this out there. The women's matches are a whole lot better than the men's. The women's are out wrestling the men, in my personal opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, but that's how I feel. I think that the women are wrestling their hearts out. They're really giving it more than the men. and it's due course. I think the men are having fun out there. They're doing their thing because they can become a little more physical, but the women are just taking it. They're just doing it. They don't care. They're like, whatever, we're wrestlers, let's do it. And I'm like, yes, finally we get some physical women that wants to do some levels of wrestling, or just beat the living daylights out of each other. Again, this is not ballet. It's not ballet. These are professional. These are professional athletes. They're putting their bodies on the line, getting hit by chairs, getting hit by ladders, tossed from high areas, smashed into sometimes into metal grates, into the poles, on top of in the ring. And you can sit there and say all day, "Oh, wrestling stank." Okay, well, you get hit by a chair. You go get hit by one of those chairs. They get legitimately hit. You get kicked in the gut and see if you can breathe. No, that stuff is no joke. So, um, um, it's a great WrestleMania. I can't wait to see what they're gonna be doing. Hopefully later, and I hope that this whole virus thing gets cleared up and we can get back to normal and we can watch some wrestling again. I'm actually getting myself back into wrestling again. I haven't been watching wrestling since I think like 2012. No, 2011. It was right before NXT even became a thing. That's when I left wrestling, and it surprised me. So I think I was watching a little bit of stuff when I heard about the Nexus. So I I miss it now. I miss wrestling. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit that bell. I will have some more videos out there. I'm hearing some rumblings, but I'm going to make some confirmations about a lot of things. But I haven't heard that much about the Snyder Cut. Everything's been silent, which is good. That means that they're doing a lot more focusing. And a lot of us are just doing some videos. So like I said, hit the bell, and I'll try to have any more videos out. And this was probably one of the best weekends I've had in a while. I'm hoping that I can sit back and watch another set of WrestleManias and be entertained for a while. So thank you for joining me. You guys have a great one. Bye.